Dry Creek Junction wasn't the kind of town that made headlines. It was the kind of place where the diner served the same meatloaf every Thursday, the barbershop doubled as a gossip hub, and the sheriff's department had more lawn chairs than cruisers. Theo had lived there for 20 years, and so had his truck, a 1984 Ford F-150, sun-bleached, dented, and held together by zip ties, duct tape, and stubbornness. Locals called it the Rust Whisperer. It wasn't pretty, but it ran. Always did. Theo didn't care about appearances. He cared about loyalty, and that truck had never let him down. One Monday morning, Theo was driving through town, windows down, radio crackling with old country tunes. He was halfway to the feed store when flashing lights lit up behind him. He pulled over, confused. He hadn't been speeding. His tags were current. His truck, though loud, wasn't illegal. Officer Marla Vance strutted up to his window, sunglasses perched like judgment. "Morning, sir. Got a noise complaint. This thing sounds like a dying dinosaur." Theo blinked. "It's just the muffler. Been like that since '97. She smirked. "Well, Dry Creek has standards. You might want to upgrade before it embarrasses you further." She handed him a ticket. Excessive mechanical noise. $85. Theo didn't argue. He just nodded, took the ticket, and drove off, his truck wheezing like a harmonica in a dust storm. But something about her tone stuck with him. Not the ticket, the mockery, the way she looked at his truck like it was a disease. Theo worked nights at the diner on Main Street. He wasn't a cook or a waiter. He fixed things. The ice machine, the jukebox, the flickering neon sign. He was the guy they called when something broke, and while he worked, he listened. One Thursday night, Rick Vance, Marla's husband, came in alone. He sat at the counter, nursing a black coffee and staring at nothing. Theo, wiping down the soda machine, overheard him talking to the bartender. "She's been distant, always working late. I found a hotel receipt in her gym bag. Desert Rose Motel. Room 6. Theo didn't say anything, but he started watching. The Desert Rose Motel was a rundown place on the edge of town, mostly used by truckers and couples who didn't want to be seen. Theo drove past it every Thursday night after his shift, and every time he saw Marla's cruiser parked behind the building. Same room, same time, not alone. He didn't confront her. He didn't shout. He waited. Theo had a plan. Not revenge, just truth. He started small. He fixed the diner's security camera to point toward the parking lot. One Thursday, he parked across the street from the Desert Rose and waited. At 9:17 p.m., Marla's cruiser pulled in. She wasn't in uniform. She wasn't alone. Theo snapped a few photos. Nothing scandalous, just enough to confirm what Rick suspected. The next morning, Rick came into the diner again. Theo poured his coffee, then slid a folded note across the counter. No drama. Just a date, time, and room number. Rick stared at it, then at Theo. "Why are you telling me this?" Theo looked out the window at his truck, parked crooked and proud. "She mocked something that's never let me down. Figured you deserved the same." Rick didn't say anything. He just nodded. That night, the Desert Rose Motel saw more than its usual shadows. Rick showed up. Marla panicked. Her affair unraveled like a cheap motel towel. By Monday, she was off the force. Quiet resignation. No press, no ceremony. Dry Creek Junction didn't gossip loudly. It whispered. And the whispers spread fast. Theo kept driving the Rust Whisperer. No more tickets. No more gum-chewing lectures. Just the hum of an engine that refused to quit. But the story didn't end there. 2 weeks later, Theo got a letter in the mail. It was from Rick. "Theo, I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't told me. I thought I was crazy. I thought I was losing her, and maybe I deserved it. But you gave me clarity. I sold the house. I'm moving to Flagstaff, starting fresh. I left something for you behind the diner." Rick Theo walked out back that evening and found a tarp-covered shape behind the dumpster. He pulled it off. It was a muffler, brand new, chrome, shiny. With a note taped to it, For the whisperer, let her roar with pride. Theo laughed, not because he needed it, but because someone understood. Dry Creek Junction went back to normal. The diner served meatloaf on Thursdays. The barbershop gossiped. The sheriff's department hired a new officer. Quiet, respectful, drove a hybrid. Theo's truck still rattled, still wheezed. But now, it had a new muffler. And every time he passed the old police station, he tapped the horn twice. Soft, respectful, like a goodbye. Because rust never sleeps, and neither does truth.